Kathy, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you 2 more recipes for side dishes that would be great for Thanksgiving or any holiday time or gathering. A lot of us are having smaller gatherings this year due to the COVID virus, but that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on good food. So I'm going to share with you my sweet potato casserole with pecans. I love pecans in it. And also my nice cheesy creamy yellow squash casserole. You're going to love it. It's super easy and very delicious. So let's get cooking. For the sweet potato casserole, I have 4 nice size sweet potatoes here. And then I'm going to use a cup of brown sugar and some flour, baking powder, a little bit of salt, vanilla extract, and heavy whipping cream and butter. And that's what makes it wonderful. It's not too sweet. The sweetness from the sweet potatoes is enough, but I like using brown sugar as opposed to white sugar. It adds a nice caramelized flavor to it. And then top it with the pecan halves, and it's going to be delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the potatoes. You don't need to watch me to do that. You can figure it out. And then we'll get that in the oven, and then we'll start on the yellow squash casserole. Be right back. Now that I'm done peeling the potatoes, there was a lot, and so I had to take out my big pan here and put as you can see, I cut them in chunks and put them in and put enough water in to cover the potatoes, and we're going to let this boil and cook until the potatoes are tender, and then we'll take them out, rinse them, and start mashing them and putting all the ingredients together. So let's get this on the stove. Have you ever wondered what the difference is between yams and sweet potatoes? Let's find out. Alexa, what's the difference between yams and sweet potatoes?
Though sweet potatoes and yams are commonly confused, their appearances and tastes differ. Sweet potatoes have beige or orange flesh, while yams are typically white-fleshed. Sweet potatoes taste moist and sweet, while yams are starchy and dry.
Okay, so you got that? Now that the sweet potatoes are done cooking, I've drained them, and as you can see, I have a nice big bowl of this yummy sweet potatoes. I'm going to take my masher and just mash it down a little bit. And then I'm going to start adding in the ingredients. First, I am preheating the oven to 325 degrees, and we'll be putting it in a casserole dish. So I have a cup of brown sugar here. Add that, and then I'm going to add 2 eggs. Half a teaspoon of salt, and then I have a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I like to use heavy whipping cream, so I have a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Adding baking powder just makes the sweet potato casserole fluffy. That, and oh, how can I forget the butter? So we're going to add a 1/2 stick of butter, 4 tablespoons. And I'm actually going to pop this in the microwave and soften it up some. So we'll be right back. That's better. A little 1/2 stick of butter softened here. And I'm also going to add just a sprinkle of allspice. I think it just Adds a nice flavor to the sweet potatoes. Now that I've got this kind of mixed together, the part that I like to do to make it all fluffy and nice and creamy is using my mixer. And if you click on above, you'll see the unboxing of my Braun mixer. I love this. I've been using it a lot. So make sure that the speed is down so I don't have all this stuff flying all over the place. And don't forget to get all the sides, scoop it all in there so you get it all nice and mixed well. You're going to just do this for a few minutes just to get everything all nice and incorporated. And the potatoes is not chunky, but it's not going to be like creamy smooth. It's got some lumps in it, and that's okay. Let's see how it tastes. I know. I have to taste it. So good. Yum yum. All right, now that we've got that done here, let's make some room and bring over the casserole dish. My casserole dish is a 3.8 liter. I have to look it up to see what that is in cups. But I'm going to use this, and I like to take some of the butter and just kind of spread it around on the bottom and the sides. And then we're just going to take all of this goodness, oh gosh, the bowl's heavy, all of this goodness, and scrape it in to the casserole dish. Now just take this and with your spatula and smooth it out. Now that I have the sweet potato in the casserole dish, I'm going to make the topping. And what I've added is 2 tablespoons of flour into this little dish here. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. I have light brown sugar. Actually, I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. Let's do a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, light or dark. And the other half of the stick of butter, slightly softened, but not all the way melted. And I'm going to put that in here with the brown sugar. And flour mixture, and just kind of mash it all in there and create a crumble. This is going to go on top of the casserole dish along with the pecans. How do you say P-E-C-A-N? Pecans? Pecans? No. I'm not really from the South, although I pretty much grew up in Florida, but I've lived up north as an adult, and I'm from California. And so I actually say pecans. But I think my southern friends say pecans. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It doesn't really matter. It just goes in your mouth and it's good. Get this all mixed well. Some people like to put marshmallows on top of their casserole, and you can do that instead of what I'm doing. So at this point, you would just take your little miniature marshmallows and add them to the top of the casserole. Okay, I think we got it to crumble about as much as we're going to, so I'm going to now just kind of spread this on top of the casserole dish. Okay, kind of get this all around because it's gonna melt and be a nice gooey topping. And I have about a cup of pecans here that I crumbled, and I'm just going to spread it around the top. Now we're going to put this in the oven. Again, it's at 325 degrees, and we're going to bake it for 30 minutes, and after that it'll be done. You can always make this ahead of time too, and then reheat before you serve. So, doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, yummy. It's going to be delicious. All right, it's going in the oven. Now I'm going to start on the yellow squash casserole. And I've got some nice size yellow squash. I'm going to go ahead and cut them up. And you want to cut them up to about this size. And that's good. And we're going to place them in a skillet along with the sliced onions, and put a little bit of water in there and cook them for a few minutes until the squash is a little tender. And then we'll take them off and prepare the casserole dish. This is an easy dish to make, and everybody just loves it because it's so gooey with cheese and butter. And I like to use panko crumbs. Some people put cracker crumbs in it, but I kind of like the panko crumbs. And we'll get this all done and get that on the stove to cook, and we'll be back. Now on to the yellow squash. I've drained the squash and the onions. They were cooked slightly to soften them, and we'll just put them in a bowl here. And in a separate bowl, I'm going to mix the cheddar cheese. I have mild cheddar cheese that's shredded, and I'm going to use a cup of shredded cheese. And I'm gonna be a little generous on the shredded cheese because we love gooey cheese in our casserole. So we got cheese in there, and then I'm going to mix it together with the crumbs. So again, I'm using Panko Crumbs, and some people use the cracker. They'll take Ritz crackers, but I like the Panko Crumbs. And we're gonna do 2 cups of the crumbs. I'm just gonna mix these in. I'm just gonna use my hands. It's a lot easier to use my hands. Mix all that together. In a small bowl, I'm going to mix together the 2 eggs and 3/4 cups of heavy whipping cream. You can use milk instead too if you'd like. I just like the creaminess of the heavy cream. Makes it a rich casserole. I didn't promise that this was low calorie. Just have to walk it off. Mix that in. I've also have a 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And now I'm going to add these things to the squash. So I'm going to pour in the eggs and the cream. And I'm going to have this, my little mixture of pepper, black pepper and salt, and I'm going to give it a few pinches. There we go. Mix all that together. I'm going to start scooping in some of the cheese and panko crumb mixture, but I'm going to reserve a little bit to sprinkle on the top, so don't put all of it in here. And mix in a little bit more, but reserve some for the top. And then I'm going to add the butter. I have a round casserole dish. You could use whatever dish, but this one is a 2.5 liter. And we're gonna just pour this into the casserole dish. And even this out. Then I'm going to take the remaining, and I may add a little more cheese to this. It's a lot of crumbs there, but we want lots of cheese too. Maybe not that much. You notice my dogs aren't barking right now because I'm not making chicken and meat, and they are like veggies. Oh, yeah, we could do without. So they're over on the couch snoring away. And this makes for a nice, crusty, gooey, cheesy topping. And that's it. So now this is going to go into the oven, excuse me, at 400 degrees, and it's going to bake for 30 minutes, and then it'll be done. So 2 really simple, easy side dishes to add to your menu for your Thanksgiving or holiday or whatever dinner that you have coming up. So we'll get it in the oven, and the sweet potato casserole will be done in just a few. My casserole dishes are all done. This is the nice sweet potato with pecans, and my yellow squash with the gooey, yummy cheddar cheese. I'm only going to taste a little bit because I don't want to mess up the pretty topping on top of the casserole dish before it's served for dinner. So let's try this. Oh, this is my favorite. Sorry. All the crunching of the pecans. The sweet potato came out so fluffy and not overly sweet. But it's almost like dessert. It's so yummy. I'm gonna try the squash. Get some of the cheese and the breadcrumbs. Look. Doesn't that look good? That is really good. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be my little snack here. Very good. The cheddar cheese, a little bit of a sharpness from the medium sharp cheddar, and the nice panko breadcrumbs inside, and the sweetness of the yellow squash. It's just so yummy. So everyone, I hope you like this video. Hope you like these recipes and try them out and let me know how it works for you. These are another 2 great options for your Thanksgiving or holiday meals. Easy to put together sides. Everybody loves them. They're gonna rave about it. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get reminded of my next video. Also, share with your friends, because I'm sure if you don't make this for your next gathering, somebody else will, and you'll get lucky and have some. So, thanks for watching. See ya.